Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren, you're watching the Valentines. Today we are doing a garden update tour. This is the beginning of the third week of August 2022. It's a pretty interesting time for the garden because lots of things are in transition from the summer garden to the fall garden. So I'm excited to share all of that with you. So let's start from the top and work our way back. So we've got some herbs growing here in our vertical planters. The purple basil has been growing great. I'm gonna be clipping even more of this. I've got some here and over here, and I might propagate some. We have some new basil sprouts coming up over here. Also have some thyme sprouts coming up, and I need to germinate the other ones. I had some parsley in the top, but it did not come up. And this planter, I've got a ton more purple basil and some rosemary, and I think I'm gonna propagate some of that too. Moving on over here, these were Cosmos. They're pretty much done, so I'm gonna be ripping this out. They were beautiful, now they're no longer. Mrs. Burns lemon basil, second planting of that. Interestingly enough, over here, I had cleaned these beds out to flip them over, or not beds, they're more like, you know, containers. I flipped them over, I ripped out what we had here, I added some compost on top, but these are all volunteer celosia plants. I've already got celosia planted in another bed, so I'll probably just rip those out. Behind me is just this beautiful white gomphrena. First time growing gomphrena, and I absolutely love it. It's just an amazing addition to bouquets, and it comes in so many other colors. So my plan for next spring is to plant like 5 different colors of this. I just love it. The vase life is longer than most other flowers, so can't say enough about these beautiful white little balls. I think they're going to be so great for my fall bouquets. Next up is my enormous okra. Look how tall it is. It's way taller than me. I want to show you the okra flowers. They were blooming big earlier, and now they're kind of bunched up. Let me show you this. Let me show you this one. See that yellow flower? That's an okra flower. You can also see some assassin beetles hanging out. And below it are the little okra fruits, and I'm gonna harvest those in the next day or so. Okay, I must have missed this okra this morning. That one's ready to be harvested, and see the yellow flower above it. So we'll clip that one off. What I've been doing with my okra is I have a freezer bag full of it, and I'm freezing it and chopping it for soups. That's like the number one way that I like to do it. I'll be putting it into homemade vegetable soups. I also love to pickle some. So I'm just gonna see how much I get. I'm gonna fill some freezer bags first, and then I'm going to probably pickle some. Love pickled okra. Hello, look how big that guy is. Please don't jump on me. Moving on, this whole bed here, these are sunflower stems, and these are the same sunflowers that I featured in my leggy seedling video and how to fix that. So I'm going to link that up so you guys can check it out. You won't believe that these thriving sunflowers are the same ones that were struggling just a few weeks ago. Next up is one of my zinnia beds. It is still going strong. This was planted back in April. It is now the third week of August. Beautiful giant wine zinnias, some salmon color zinnias, some queen lime zinnias. This bed does need attention. The weight of them, some of them are falling over. Some of them need to be deadheaded, so I will be working on that. Oh, we got a happy bumblebee here. Hello, bumblebee. We love our pollinators. Okay, moving on. This bed is ready to be turned over. You can see the zinnias falling into it. And we are losing the battle against the creeping Charlie. So it is very hard to get rid of that creeping Charlie, but I think some of my fall crops I've started will go into this bed. Next up, we also have great room in this bed. Our Serrano bush is still going so strong. I do have a video of making hot sauce coming. Our bee just landed over on the Serranos. I love the delicate little white flowers in contrast to the red and green peppers. So beautiful. So Daniel has become personally fond of this Serrano bush, and I don't blame him. So we're actually going to see if we can overwinter it. A lot of peppers, most if not all peppers, are perennial for their native environments. It's just a lot of us grow them in climates where they die over the winter. But now that we're here in South Alabama on the coast, I really think that we can overwinter it, particularly if we put some hoops over this bed and maybe some frost fabric. But right next to it, these sunflowers were planted, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks between the last sunflower bed that you saw. And check it out. We have our first blooms. We have our first one that just opened. There's a bee on that one. And I'm so excited because I'll be putting more bouquets out at the end of the driveway this weekend. So really happy. These are doing strong and looking great, and they have almost surpassed me in height, which they certainly will do very soon. So next up, I have a couple beds with some variety in here. So take a look at this bed. The closest to me here, these are all different types of straw flowers. So excited. These I germinated in soil blocks, and they are doing so well. And then the rest of the bed is zinnias, and I just pinched them, so they'll be branching out more. Moving on over here to this bed, these are Pompous Plume Celosia and one zinnia. That's one zinnia that got put over there. And then moving on here, the rest of these are yellow onions, and look how well they're doing. They have sprouted right up. And then we have one watermelon. So a lot of variety in this bed. And then last but not least, over here, we have more straw flowers, which are great for bouquets or for dried flowers. And then the rest of these were pumpkins, and they sadly just haven't done well in the heat. So I probably will be pulling those out and making room for fall crops. Over here, another huge okra plant with some okra that'll definitely be ready to pull tomorrow. These were a couple green bean plants. Ooh, got another huge bee hanging out over here. These green bean plants do have green beans on them. Let's see. You can see a bunch of, oh, here's one. There's a little green bean. So as happens sometimes, this was like 2 green bean plants that just kind of got crammed into one grow bag. It's really not optimal, not really enough room for them, but they're doing okay. I think we will harvest some green beans. So, hey, next year we'll space them out a little better. And then here is an update on our potato boxes. These potato boxes were old hive boxes from our beehives that we weren't using and didn't really have a use for. So we planted potatoes in here, and they are sprouting well. And then what we'll do is we'll mound them up a little bit more as they get a little bigger. We had one volunteer onion. I have no idea where it came from, but we're letting it go. So those are looking good. I do have a little bit of a concern with the potato boxes. We have just had so much rain, astronomical amounts of rain, more rain than I have experienced in a long time. This is a new growing environment for us. In Virginia, we just didn't get that much rain. So I'm hoping that they're not gonna be suspect to rot, but we'll see. It's all very experimental. Our first time growing 1,000 miles more south than we were. So very different growing climate, and we are learning so much from all of that. So coming back up over here, these beautiful bean plants are called Cherokee Trail of Tears. It's a purple bean. I had one fruit and kind of dry on the pod. The skin was purple at first, but there's many beautiful little flowers on here. So they're just a beautiful, if you guys have ever grown like peas or beans, the flowers are quite lovely and delicate. But tons of flowers on here, so I expect tons more beans to be coming in. Excited about that. Ooh, a lizard friend. Hello, my dude. How are you? Hi, little guy. So this is the first flower I've ever seen on this plant. So I don't know how well it's doing, but that's how it goes. Successes and failures. So I think that's going to finalize it for this video. I didn't include any shots from the front part of the garden where we have the vitex berries and the persimmon tree and the blueberries. Not too many updates there. The blueberries are all gone. They're all picked. The vitex, I'm still waiting a little bit longer before I harvest them. And the persimmons just still aren't ripe yet. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this update. It's a transition between summer and fall. First year garden here that we just put in at our new property. So I hope that will encourage you guys that you can do so much with limited time, resources, and with a new garden. So definitely give it a try. Please subscribe if you'd like more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one.